Welcome back to the i.e.427 garage, everybody. Well, we are in the shop today. We've got work happening on the coupe. We've got the crate motor for it over there. We're working on the nose aluminum. We've got the fuse box all squared away installed, so its parts are ready to go to powder coating. But I wanted to give you guys a quick shop update on some of the things we've been working on here around the shop while all of this other work on the cars has progressed. So in between all this work that we've been doing on the coupe, we've been doing some work around the shop. We've been putting some cabinets in. We've got some stuff here for the Oklahoma house that I've been working on as well. We're trying to get packed up for our trip. So we've got the back of the truck open and we've been loading stuff in the back of that. I'm hoping we can get everything fit into the truck because we've got a lot of stuff we're taking back this time. So that we can hopefully get that place completely set up, kind of remodeled and ready for renters. And then we've got the new Mark IV project that came in, and we've been moving boxes for that, putting them up high on the storage rack for medium length or long-term storage at this point, because it's going to be a while before we get to that one. So let me turn the camera around and we'll talk about some of those things that are happening around the shop. I got some cabinets installed here. You may have seen them behind me while I was working in this video and possibly the previous video. But I'm trying to get a lot of the stuff that was on the bench here, or not the bench, the saw, but I use it as a bench. This will probably end up moving to Oklahoma. And that'll free up a lot more space in here. But I don't know what I'll replace it with because I'm going to still need a bench, so who knows. Anyways, I got some cabinets up here to get all the stuff that was previously just kind of stored on top of the saw, and now I've got quite a bit of it up in here. And so I put those together probably, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, and I just got around to installing them. And I think they went in about the same time that we moved all of the parts and material for the new Mark IV up to the big storage rack in the main shop. So I got that done. I just finished up some maintenance on the compressor that I bought, last year. I've been putting off the maintenance for so long that I just decided I just needed to get it done. And so when the engine for the coupe got moved in, I had to move the compressor and I broke the drain off the bottom of it. And so then the compressor wouldn't hold air. So I had to get it fixed in a hurry. And so I started basically filming that video then. But so I got that done. And then, we got some parts for, not parts, we've got some infrastructure, let's put it that way, for the Oklahoma property. So let me go in the other shop and I'll show you exactly what that is. All right, because we like to kind of like stay off the beaten path when we travel anymore, we like to see different parts of the country rather than just the highways. If you watched the movie, if you've got kids or grandkids and you watch the movie Cars from Disney, You know, they show that little town of Radiator Springs that kind of gets forgotten when the highway goes through. Well, Mrs. i.e.427 and myself travel a lot of the back roads, and we do that for two reasons. One, the roads are usually in better condition because they're less traveled. And two, we get to see parts of the country that just get passed by all these people that are on the highway. And, you know, we've calculated the time difference that it takes us, and it's usually within, you know, just a few minutes difference of actual time spent on the highway or spent on these back roads. So for us, it just makes sense to travel these back roads. You know, you don't have people, you know, especially if you're pulling the trailer, you don't have people, you know, behind you riding your ass, you know, trying to get past you because they're impatient. You know, you go on these back roads, they're generally just 2-lane highways, and there's much less traffic. So if someone wants to pass you, they just go around you. And so with that, we find that we go through a lot of areas that don't have the best cellular or mobile networks, you know, in these rural areas. And we figured that since we were buying this place in Oklahoma, we were going to have to look for alternatives because the high-speed internet availability, especially at the place we bought, is pretty much zero. Now, when we asked the real estate agent about the internet and the availability of high-speed internet, she says, oh, well, they have plans to put fiber down this road, this highway that we're on. And well, that's all well and good. There's nothing there now. And so about the highest speed internet you can get from, you know, a local provider is DSL. Remember DSL? That's a digital subscriber line. I'm surprised I remember that. But the speeds on that are only like 1 gigabit, maybe 3 gigabit at best. And while it would probably work fine for us if we were just there intermittently, to get service there and then just leave it idle for us wouldn't make any sense. Now, since we're going to have renters in there, I don't want to be, you know, borrowing their internet when we decide to come into town. So what we opted for was the Starlink, the Starlink Mini. And this will actually work in the truck. We can set that Starlink panel in the truck in the front windshield. They say it'll work up to 100 miles per hour. Now, I'm not going to be doing 100 miles an hour in the dually, but it's nice to know that it'll work like that. Some of the rural areas, we may or may not get service. It all depends. You know, this thing wants a view of a certain part of, I think, the northern sky, where DirecTV, when we had DirecTV, always says you want a clear view of the southern sky. For some reason, this says northern sky. So we'll see. I bought a windshield mount for it. And if that doesn't work, we could always get a roof mount with suction cups and run the lead in through one of the windows on the back, either the passenger or the driver's side. But we've gone through areas in, oh God, Texas, New Mexico, where there's just no cellular service whatsoever. I mean, you get no bars. And in those instances, if you had to make a phone call, let's say you broke down, you needed to make a phone call to get someone out there to help you, with no service, you're screwed. What this will allow us to do is connect to the Starlink and get a phone call out via Wi-Fi. And that way, you know, we can get help. We can say, hey, we're a mile mark or whatever. We need help. We ran out of gas. I don't know. But it's just one more layer of safety so that we'll have options if something were to happen. So I've got that. I've got to get that, get the account set up and everything like that before our next trip, which is this coming week. And then we'll see how well it works. The service is reasonable. I think it's $50 a month for their 50 gig service. I don't think we're going to use 50 gigs. And what the nice thing is that they'll allow us to put the system in idle for those months we're not using it at $5 a month. So even if it sits for 11 months of the year, I'm only going to be paying, what, $50, $60, $55. So that seems reasonable to me because shit, our internet here at the shop right now, I just renegotiated our plan. I think we're paying $50 here. So now there's no cap, there's no data limit on it, but still, for what this is, it's great, and we can use it when we travel. If we're traveling with the trailer, I can put this thing on the trailer. We can open up the trailer in the evenings, and if we need to connect to the satellites in order to get internet, we just do that. So I just thought it was a good investment at this time. We'll see how it works out, and I'll report back to you guys, telling you if I like it or not. But I'm going to get back to work on the cars here, so I'll catch up with you later. Here's another one. I forgot all about this until I had to look at my big head on the TV screen behind me. But we bought the new property in Oklahoma, and when we got there, of course the trash cans were full. The previous owners, being as courteous as they were, decided to leave the trash cans full, and we didn't want to continue the trash service, especially if we weren't going to be there. So we put both trash cans out at the curb, and when we came back the following day, because we were staying in a hotel down the street, one of the trash cans had been picked up and taken because it was obviously the trash company's or the refuge company's trash can. I didn't realize that the other one was just a regular, flip-top bin that the previous owner must have bought, like at Home Depot or something. And so I was like, oh, shit. Now we're going to have to load all this trash up in the truck and take it home because I don't want it just sitting there, especially if there was any food or anything. So we opened up the bin and looked inside, and sure as shit, there's a 40-inch TV in there. I'm like, don't these people realize you just can't throw a TV in a trash can? I mean, come on. It has to go to like electronics recycling. Now, maybe in Oklahoma you can. I don't know. But I wouldn't throw a TV in the trash can. So we had to bring all that trash home. And, I wasn't going to put the TV in a trash bag with the rest of the stuff. So I just kind of put it in the back of the truck. And I figured, you know what? I'll check to see if it works when we get back to California. And it sat in the truck for, 3 or 4 days before I actually cleaned out the back of the truck. But here in the last week or so, I pulled it out and I put it off to the side. And then to remind myself that I needed to check it, I kind of left it in my path, kind of like the compressor, so that I would, test it, plug it in and see if it worked. I'll be damned. I plugged it in, and the thing's got a beautiful picture. Now, looking at my ugly mug on the TV screen, you can't really tell. But so it's a 40-inch Vizio TV, and it's a smart TV, so it gets YouTube, it gets Netflix and all these other things. So I connected it up to our wireless here in the shop. I've got the antenna connected to outside so we can get local broadcasts, and I've been using it here in the shop. So I just got one of our videos running right now on there to just kind of show you guys that it worked. But so yeah, TV works great. The only thing I did have to do is I had to buy a Vizio remote. I have a Vizio TV in the workshop, and to get the TV to turn on and off and go, I used that remote at first. But I ordered a Vizio remote control on Amazon. Maybe it was Amazon. I don't remember. And I got it right here. So that's the remote that would have come with this TV when it was new. I got it for $5. And I've been using this TV out here in the shop just for noise. So like when I'm out here, when I was moving all those boxes and stuff for the Mark IV, I just had the TV on in the background for noise, and I just kind of tooled away, did my own thing all day. And so it's nice having a TV out here. I always enjoy having a TV in the workshop as well, because I like baseball, and so it's playoff season, and so I can have, if there's 2 games on, I can have both games on in there on different networks and watch both games at the same time. But so yeah, there you go. That's just something that I forgot that, I mean, who throws away a brand new TV? you know, it may not have been brand new, but hell, it works. It has to be less than 5 years old, right? Because it's like a smart TV. So I don't know. I'm going to keep it, and we're going to use it here. We're still doing some work here on the shop. I still have to get a set of stairs made for the mezzanine out in the main shop, and that will transpire probably over the winter holiday. I may even work on that over the Christmas holiday. I've got to get the stringers ordered for those stairs, and I think rather than using traditional dimensional lumber on that, I'm going to use some Paralams or Versalam stringers. They actually sell them for rim joists, and I think I'm going to order up 3 of those and make my stair stringers out of those, because I think they're going to be more stable, and over the long haul they'll maintain their shape better than traditional dimensional lumber will. So that's one thing we're going to be working on. I do need to do a wrap up on our solar system, because I'm very disappointed in the contractor that we used to do the solar system, and I've kept that kind of close-lipped up to this point, but I think I'm going to do a comprehensive review of the solar system, which we're very happy with, and the contractors that did it, who we are very unhappy with. And I'll probably put that over on the Mrs. channel, because quite honestly, it all the initial solar stuff was over on the other channel, and I think we're going to keep it that way. But we've also got some work we want to do continuing in the workshop here. I want to go ahead and I want to cover these walls. So this wall here where the clock is, and this wall here where you can see the thermometer and the steering wheels hanging. I want to get those covered with siding. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to cover this wall with, but I've still got to frame out those window openings as well, and those are going to take some time. I'm actually going to trim those out with plywood, and trim out around the band portion of the windows with traditional style trim. It'll be the same kind of stuff we're using for all the trim in here now, which is the Miratech. This stuff is awesome. You could put that stuff in direct contact with water and dirt, and it's not supposed to attract insects or mold growth or anything like that. It's supposed to last forever. It's basically a wood pulp, like a wood resin, wood pulp of redwood and cedar, and then the medium that they use to basically bind it all together is an exterior grade like epoxy. So this stuff is like impervious to weather, and they don't even tell you that you need to take the end cuts and put any type of treatment or covering on them. They say it can still have direct contact. We choose to always pre-prime, like even the bottoms of these frames that we did. They're primed. They're not finished painted, but they're at least primed, just to seal them up against any type of moisture or stuff like that. But they say in the literature that it doesn't need to be. But regardless, I still want to cover this wall as well. We still have enough of the siding that's over on that wall, the green shake style vinyl siding, to finish up this wall over here. And so I want to go ahead and I want to get this finished up. That means I'm going to have to take the TV down. I've already pulled out the computer and the other stuff that was attached to the TV. It just needs to come off the wall, and then we can start on this. So that means I'm going to have to pull my my racks down here for my drills and whatnot, but that'll go right back up there when we get up to that point on the siding. And then I've got to figure out how to trim around the mini split system up there. But I think I've got a pretty good handle on what I'm going to do there. So that'll give you kind of an idea what's been going on here as far as the actual workshop and the main shop. And I just as I was working on the coupe, I got kind of off on a tangent, and so rather than putting this content in that video, I figured I'd do a separate video. I know some of you guys actually enjoy the construction stuff, because I've seen some of the comments in the videos for like the Oklahoma project, and I appreciate that. But some of the car guys that just come here for the car content, we've probably already lost them, and that's okay. I've gotten to the point now where I'm going to do the content that I find interesting. And if people like it, that's fine. If they don't, they can just hit the back button and what have you. So that's kind of where I'm at with this kind of content. But the actual shop updates usually go on the Mrs. channel. This was just one of those things that just had to do with the workshop, and so I figured I'd go ahead and include it on this channel. If you guys are enjoying the content here, as always, please do the like, the share, the subscribe, all that kind of stuff. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.